Hello again. How are we? Are we doing alright? Hope you are. Well, we're back. What are we back with today? Well, I'll tell you what we're back with today. In the other, one of the other videos I did, ranting and raving, we did the future of music and how it's all ruined. So now we're going to do the future of movies, and how they're all ruined as well. So yeah, always sunny outlook here on the Vulture Authority YouTube channel, and we're going to go back to nepotism in music and analyse some lyrics at some point very soon. So do like and subscribe for that, so you don't miss it. You know, always plugging. We're always plugging. But yeah, so today's rant. What are we talking about? Well, I think it typified by David Lynch's recent death. The fact that most films, all movies, are going to get infinitely worse permanently quite soon. So David Lynch, a man I discovered through doing film studies in college. Shouts out Maxine Crompton, what a woman. Hay fever, coughing, sorry. But speaking of coffins, death. The David Lynch recently died. May God rest his soul, rest in power, all that stuff. What a bloke. First introduced to his films through film studies in college. And now, while I don't understand a lot of it, a la Homer Simpson.
That's damn fine coffee you got here in Twin Peaks. And damn good cherry pie.
Brilliant. I have absolutely no idea what's going on.
What I do know is that it's unique, art-driven. Sort of the point of it being is to make sort of the most visually striking and the most sort of mind-bending things possible, as well as sort of Twin Peaks, as well as Mulholland Drive, which is what I'm talking about there. Probably should have said that before. Mulholland Drive is one of the strangest films I've ever seen, and I don't really understand it, but I know it's fucking good. And Twin Peaks as well is sort of, there's a lot of weirdness in that, but the quotes in it, you know, there's a lot of really artfully written dialogue and sort of things that make you go, ooh, that's very interesting. Now, what's my point? Well, good question. Not too sure myself. But what my point is David Lynch has died. You know, you've got people getting older, like Scorsese, and sort of Tarantino says he's quitting. They're a lot more mainstream, obviously, than David Lynch's stuff. But what they are is the last of the auteurs. Fancy word for you. Directors who sort of given free rein, and the point of their stuff is to make a good story, whereas now what the point is to make as much money as possible. I.e. your Marvel shit, your fucking just dross, basically. Like, there was no, if you look back to 15, 20 years ago, even television, sort of things like Breaking Bad, The Sopranos, etc. This was sort of like, oh, this is the new golden age. Well, it doesn't look like that anymore, does it? Because what's going on now? Well, fuck all. Especially in the realms of films, where the only films that seem to get made now are Marvels, sequels, stuff like that. It just gets worse and worse and worse until we all die. For instance, Netflix turned down David Lynch for funding several times, but I've got plenty of money to fund some fucking Jersey Shore 17. This time they go to somewhere else. So Netflix, before David Lynch died, turned down his requests for funding to make one of his last films. So that was nice of them. Yeah, and sort of these people are the last. So David Lynch, Scorsese, etc. Sort of the last artistic directors who will make sort of non-commercial films like Scorsese's last one, Killing of the Flower Moon. That was 3.5 hours long, and it was excellent, but it was 3.5 hours long. So nowadays, you are not going to... Studios will not allow this to happen, you know. So where does this bode well for when these people who've already established themselves previously in Hollywood, when they're no longer around? Well, I think it doesn't bode very well for the future of entertainment, especially sort of, you know, as these films are all being made in America, and Mr. Trump decides to crack down on anything that's, you know, interesting or doesn't agree with him. So you've got David Lynch, no longer here. Scorsese, getting old. Quentin Tarantino, quitting. Very different directors, but all back up my point, I think. You know, also it coincides with the sort of the end of the middle budget film. You look at Tarantino's stuff from the 90s, Reservoir Dogs, Pulp Fiction, etc., that was massively successful. These things were all sort of £20 million-ish, which sounds quite a lot of money. I would like that kind of money myself, obviously. But these are sort of middle budget for Hollywood, whereas not like your 100 million shit that they put out on fucking Iron Man or whatever. But the end of these kind of films is coinciding with sort of obviously the end of anything good. So studios, including Netflix, refusing to back people like David Lynch. What does that mean? I think that means more commercial bullshit, more Marvel-y shit, and the cheaper made versions. So even if you're a Marvel counter-revolutionary, even that's going to get worse. Do you know why? Because of capitalism. Yeah. See, even you, Mr. Superhero Man, join the cause. Join the cause, because we're right. And in a way, this illustrates my theory that the Bush family are the most successful political family in history. So sort of with this, obviously, Bush Senior, President Bush Senior, is a CIA's man. So a former director of the CIA becomes president, you know, not good, that, if you know what the CIA is about. Yeah. Sort of, you know, probably killed Kennedy, and now he's president. Well, not now, but 88 to 92, you know what I mean? And then George Bush as well, they run with narratives of sort of their entire presidency can be defined by narratives of good versus evil. And what else is defined by good versus evil? Fucking Marvel films. Shite, because it's shite for morons, that's why. Now, what can we do about this? Well, what it is, ultimately... This is one thing. This is not politics where, you know, it's the fault of the voters, but they're all irredeemably stupid. Now, are people as a whole irredeemably stupid? Quite possibly. But I choose to believe against all evidence that they aren't. So, whose fault is this trend in movies to making them worse? Well, it's the fault of you, the consumers.
Now, at the risk of being unpopular, this reporter places the blame for all of this squarely on you, the viewers.
Everyone is getting stupider. I think that's it's dumber. I'd say even me. Whatever word you want to use. I think everyone's getting thicker, and not in the double C version, the CK version. You know, the world's getting stupider. You know, so you got Mashtag Brady with a mural in Peterborough. That's archetypical for me, you know. What more do you need to know than that? Like, so, as the great Mark Kermode once said,
if you go, if you pay money to go and see Pirates of the Caribbean, it's your own fault, and you're bringing down the collapse of Western civilization. And
if you are watching these films, it is your fault. You are bringing about the collapse of Western civilization, and you need to stop it. You need to look within yourself and realise your choices are terrible and affecting the rest of humanity. So what can we do about this? What can we do about this? Right, well, we can stop believing. We can go all Adam... I'm going to go all Adam Curtis on you. Stop believing simple narratives about the world of good versus evil. The world is more complex. Yes, stop believing George Bush and Bush Jr. and Bush Sr., whose entire presidencies were based on good versus evil stories that ultimately led us into many wars, killed millions of people for no reason. So yeah, that's my thesis there. Be smarter. Stop believing in good versus evil nonsense. So you stop watching Marvel films, because the good guys are going to win in that film. I can promise you. That's almost definitely going to happen. You know, well, it's not almost definitely. It's definitely going to happen. So stop watching that shit, and generally, for yourself, select better and a bit of art in it. You know, there's some thought gone into this. Are the people making it nepo children? You know, think. Use your brain. Do you know what I mean? You have endless human potential within you to choose better things to fill your brain with, not good versus evil bullshit. Now, you know, we've written songs about this kind of thing. Formula Zero, that's one of them. Yeah, we've got Super Yachts for Everyone. The entire album is self-righteous glory. So go listen to that. That's art will solve it. Vulture Authority, Super Yachts for Everyone, the album, 24 tracks of glory. So there you go. That'll sort you out. Yeah. So that's that. What now? Well, like and subscribe for more unhinged rants. I've done this again before work, so this is high performance. This is 6 a.m. Yeah, and I started to realise I probably should do them later because a bit more coherent once I had a coffee. But anyway, you're getting this, and you'll like it. You might not like it, but yeah, you know what I mean. Anyway, like, subscribe. This has been fun. We've got plenty more coming up. We've got Nepo 2. The sequel. I've just whinged about sequels. I'm doing a sequel myself, but you know what I mean. Mine are good. And yeah, plenty of other things coming. So yeah, a bit of politics. We're gonna do a bit of Starmer, a bit of reform. It's all gonna get messy. Well, like, subscribe. See you later. Bye.